We are starting now. We're on the map Lost Temple, and the Zerg player Kreeflewer against the Protoss Spinks. This is the second round of Polar Fluke Heaven's Devils, sponsored by mygaming.co.za and Electronic Sports Zone. So some great prizes and stuff up for grabs for these players, and this is the first Zerg we see today. Obviously, we saw some nice Protoss versus Terran action earlier, but I'm pretty amped to see these two guys play against each other. Kreeflewer, obviously, incredibly experienced player from StarCraft 1 days. He plays Zerg like a true Zerg player should, and he always goes for the macro above anything else. He tries to expand the map full. He tries to control his enemy with numbers. And Spinks, we haven't seen much from him recently, but we saw him putting up a good fight against Angry African. So we're underway right now. Kreeflewer spawning at the 6 o'clock position on Lost Temple, and Spinks spawning at the 3 o'clock position. So I don't think Spinks is going to try anything crazy, because he once again needs to measure up his opponents. He hasn't had many games against these local guys, so he's not quite sure what to expect. Here we go. Kreeflewer sending his overlord across to the 9 o'clock spawn, and he's not going to see his opponent there, sadly. That's always really great if Zerg spawns that close to their opponents. And Spinks doing nearly the same thing. He's now going to start scouting. He's put his pylon down, but he will in fact be scouting Kreeflewer first, so there's a bit of an advantage for him already. At the same time, there goes the drone. They're going to high-five in the middle of that. There we go. They pass each other. Drone and probe just pass each other. They're going to find each other in just a second. And let's see what these guys have in store for us. I'm hoping for a really exciting game from these two players. Kreeflewer just doing the normal thing. His first overlord is out there. He has a very different way of playing Zerg. Some guys do this whole overpooling thing. They put on that little extractor and then build that extra one drone. But Kreeflewer, he rolls old school, and he waits, he builds drones, and when he gets to 10, he builds that overlord, and then right after it comes out, he just throws up 3 drones at the same time. I guess it doesn't really make a difference. You can do it any way you like. An interesting base build here from Spinks. I'm not sure if it's a good idea against a player like Kreeflewer, because I'm watching this drone of Kreeflewer, and Kreeflewer is sussing this out one time. He's having a look up and down this choke, and I think he's thinking to himself right now that that base is looking ripe for the harassment. I mean, look at this huge gap that he's got here. Spinks putting down a second pylon and his gateway. He's got the pylon, his second pylon and his gateway down below his ramp. So there's nothing in his base right now. If Kreeflewer can get a couple of Zerglings in there, wow, he can cause some serious damage there. So Kreeflewer still just hanging around the base, having a good look around, while he puts up his spawning pool and that first extractor. So Spinks doing some decent damage to Kreeflewer's main hatchery here. He took away 2 little blocks of health there. Not bad at all. We're having a little bit of choppiness here in the game. Let's hope it doesn't continue for the entire game. We want these players to have a smooth experience. Kreef needs to get a bit more gas before he can start that metabolic boost research. And over at Spinks' side, this is incredibly interesting. It looks like Spinks is countering this, what he expects to be a early expand from the Zerg player with an early expand of his own. So as a Protoss, that is incredibly risky to do. It's incredibly interesting, but it's quite risky at the same time, because now Kreeflewer knows that's coming, and he could just decide to get as many Zerglings as he can, as quick as he can, to try take this out, because he knows that cash was wasted. Spinks had to spend those minerals on that forge and that nexus, so he's going to be slightly behind in terms of army size. So here those Zerglings are 4 of them. Those 4 can take out 1 Zealot. 1 Zealot will not be a problem for 4 Zerglings, but there comes a second Zealot, so Kreef is going to have to think on his feet here and stay back. Some pretty impressive play by Kreef there. He's keeping those Zerglings alive. Let's just have a look in his base. He's getting a Baneling nest out, so Kreef definitely jumping the guy. He's not going to take any chances. He wants to get up in there soon and try to do some real damage. But Spinks also on the ball. He quickly blocks that choke of his with another pylon, and he does not take any chances. He doesn't want those Zerglings in his base. So the Zealots and the Zerglings duking it out here now. The 1 Zealot will go down. Oh no! 4 HP on that Zealot, but here come these 2 Zerglings. They take it down. Good stuff by Kreef, and 2 more Zerglings incoming, but the 2 photon cannons that Spinks had started did go up. So Kreeflewer going to have to rethink his strategy a bit. He's going to have to get a few banelings out before he continues this little push of his. But I got to tell you, Kreef needs to just slow down, take a breath, and think about what he needs to do here. He can definitely take this. This game is his for the taking. I got to tell you that right now. If he gets a couple of banelings out and he gets them exploded on that wall, he might be able to take out the gateway, the forge, and a photon cannon. But I gotta also tell you that there's only one pylon powering those two cannons and that forge. So, like, you know, he's got a choice to make there. He wants to get that pylon, but it is behind all those units. So here come the first 3 banelings. Let's see what he's going to do with that. There's a third photon cannon going up right behind that. Right in that expansion's choke there, the natural expansion. So Spinks not taking any chances. He's blocked this tiny little gap here with 2 zealots, but wow, okay, so Kreeflewer not able to move forward. This expansion has gone up and he has started populating it. So let's have a look at the income tab. Wow. That's incredibly impressive. Our Protoss player is sitting on 1,100 income, where the Zerg player, Kreeflewer, is only sitting on 600. So very, very bad for Kreeflewer. And Spinks trying something interesting here. Another mark of a pretty good player. He's definitely capable of trying new things and being a bit creative in these games. He tried to put on a proxy pylon with some photon cannons behind Kreeflewer's natural expansion. They didn't go up. Kreeflewer did spot them, but he did try nonetheless. Kreeflewer about to lose an overlord to these photon cannons slightly carelessly. He's going to want to move that away now. Let's see if it does go down. It is going to go down. He loses one overlord. He's not supply capped, so it's not as bad as it looks. And it looks like Kreeflewer, once again, thinking pretty quick on his feet. He's decided to take it up. He's going to probably, he's got his layout, and it looks like he's got his spire going up as well. And that's my dog barking in the background. You're going to have to try ignore that. I can't stop him. He's pretty crazy today. There's a hatchery down for Kreef at his natural now, and he's got both those extractors up and running. So he's going to be pulling in that gas. Let's hope he has enough minerals to support that, because if we look at Kreeflewer's mineral line, it's not nearly fully saturated. He's got 9 probes, 9 drones on there. That's not enough. He needs to up his income a little bit. So wow, yeah, one of our observers just telling me I gotta see this for myself, and I do see it. 6 gateways at a time. There are 6 extra gateways going up for Spinks in his base. Spinks he means business, okay? He's in this to win this. So Kreeflewer, wow. These are 2 amazing players duking it out here. It looks like Spinks really could provide quite a challenge for the top players in South Africa right now. I'm incredibly impressed. So Kreeflewer thinking on his feet, while at the same time Spinks seems to have an incredibly solid plan set up. Wow, Spinks got 6 gateways producing stalkers and zealots now. He's going to start pumping those units out, and Kreeflewer, wow, he's in a spot of trouble right now. We're still looking at the income tab here. Our Protoss player is still pretty much pulling in double what our Zerg has. So, damn, Kreeflewer, you are my horse. I'm betting on you today. You'd better get this game under control soon. Come on, buddy. So Kreeflewer's army lying around everywhere. He's got 2 banelings. He's got a couple of Zerglings just standing in the middle of the map here, and he's got 2 mutalisks out now. 4 mutalisks, sorry, and a 5th one just joining them. So he's going to try to do some harass, but I don't think it's going to be as successful as he hopes it is, because he's going to come around the back of this expansion here, and he's going to see there are tons of photon cannons here. This expansion is packed with them. 5 photon cannons. There's no damage to be done there, but there's nothing at Spinks's main. So he needs to think about getting a couple of photon cannons down there soon. He's got that Templar archives down now, so it looks like we're going to be seeing some high Templars pretty soon. Incredibly interesting play by Spinks here. He sort of turtles in, and then he just starts massing with the amazing income that he's making. Here go those Mutalisks doing some really nice damage to that supply line. He takes out 4 probes, I think it was, but not quite enough before those stalkers get there to intercept them. So Kreef on the run again, but Spinks tracking his every move. Spinks is there. Kreef wants to make a move, but Spinks is there. So very good play from Spinks. I'm impressed. Constantly impressing me, this guy. I'm going to have a word with him and find out who his mentor is. What his AKA is. Who is this guy? Anyway, okay, so these Mutalisks coming in for round 2. Spinks has yet to put on a few photon cannons there. Another couple of probes going down. He throws down 2 photon cannons. That's about 5 probes again. It's not going to bother Spinks very much. I think he's got the income and he's got those 2 nexus up. He will probably be able to just get them down soon. Kreeflewer losing 2 Mutalisks in the process. He's not going to want to continue those. So I'm going to have a look in Kreeflewer's base now and see what he's planning on doing. It seems like Kreeflewer is planning on one thing, and that's expanding the map full, because he wants to take advantage of the fact that his opponent has turtled in. So what he wants to do is he wants to get that income incredibly high and then just use that Zerg macro machine to sort of just overrun his opponent. But I think we're in for the long haul here. This is going to be a long game, whether we like it or not. But it looks like Spinks amassing quite a force right now. This game might be a lot shorter if Spinks decides to move out soon. He's got the blink on those stalkers, a good move by him, especially against this Mutalisk harass. But it seems like Kreef is adamant with the Mutalisk. He's going to keep on trying to harass here. And yeah, one of the observers just saying that's a lot of gas, and that in fact is a lot of gas. Kreef sitting on 1,200 gas. He might want to pull a few of those drones off the gas right now to get them on the minerals, or just start spending that gas. Zerg is an incredibly gas heavy race if you want it to be, so it should not be a problem at all for Kreef to spend that. But interesting here, we see Spinks moving out. A lot of zealots there. He doesn't have the charge yet. It's probably on its way. And let's see if I can find that Templar Archives. There comes the charge research. It's on its way. It's going to be down soon. Kreef losing a lot of... Oh no, this is bad for Kreef. Overlords going down. That's 3 Overlords. Kreef is supply capped right now. But Kreef doing some really nice damage to this expansion here. A few storms go down, but Kreef managed to dodge them quite successfully. He did a nice amount of damage to that supply line, to all those probes there, but it hasn't really hindered the income that this Protoss is pulling in. And it looks like Spinks is going to bite the bullet now and just start pushing to Kreef's base. Kreef is going to have to think about doing something about that soon. Wow, some incredibly well-placed storms there, and then some nice blinking from those stalkers. All the Mutalisks going down. There are 3 left on red HP, and they run into the entire force of Spinks in the middle of the map. Only 2 left now. Even redder HP, if that's even possible. Wow, Kreef is flustered right now. I don't think Kreef is quite sure what he can do. Spinks sitting on 2k minerals right now. He's sitting pretty right now. He's got enough, and really good play from Spinks. Wow. I didn't expect Kreef to be taken out this soon, but it looks like he might be taken out in just a couple of seconds. Spinks just totally ignoring this natural. Wow, running all his units up into Kreeflewer's main, and he's going to start doing some damage there now. One interesting thing to note is that Spinks is not using those proxy pylon abilities of the Protoss race to its fullest, but he does take down the main. So Kreeflewer definitely in a spot of bother. Both queens go down, a ton of drones go down, and that looks like it's GG for Kreeflewer. I don't think Kreeflewer is going to be able to come back from this at all. He's got a couple of Mutalisks that did some nice damage at Spinks' main, but not nearly as much as what Spinks is doing right now. Spinks splits his force up here, I suppose, to get the maximum amount of damage. The Spire goes down, thinking on his feet once again, and he's got these stalkers just chasing down these Mutalisks. So wow, amazing game we've seen here from Spinks, and amazing game from an amazing player. He's controlling Kreeflewer, who is one of the top players in the country right now. Impressive stuff. Needless to say, Spinks definitely going places. A bit of an update for you guys. Fluke just telling us here in chat that Dreamer lost his first game, and it seems like Kreeflewer is about to lose his first game too, so a few upsets going down. I'm not quite sure who Dreamer is playing against. I'll have a look at that after this game. But, oh, versus Warlord Zim. Okay, so I think I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Warlord Zim probably cheesed him. But I am not quite sure what happened there, so I won't give any false information out. Anyway, so Spinks managed to clean up everything in Kreeflewer's base. Nothing left there. We see the GG. Kreeflewer and Spinks about to move into their second game now. Well played, Spinks. I hope you watch this afterwards and you hear all these words of praise from us, because that was impressive. Well done. I hope Kreeflewer can bounce back for our sakes. Let's see what the next map is going to be.